Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. And today, guys, we're going to talk about the left's favorite tactic now because the left is now resorting to lawfare and trying to go after President Trump for all his executive orders and all that, including Doge. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for a price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations, guys. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, and donate to Nikki's World. If you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is minds.com. If you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and you want to be able to say stuff without the left silencing you, you guys can join me at minds.com. Also, guys, I have a affiliate link from Burner. If you guys value your right to Second Amendment and you want to defend yourself in a less lethal manner, you guys can buy a Burner pistol in the link in the description below. Full description, full disclosure, guys. I do own a Burner LE pistol myself. Also, guys, if you guys know anyone that needs to wear adult diapers like I do, you guys can buy them through North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore makes top of the line diapers like the Megamax diapers that I wear. They are great. They last 12 hours and you don't have to change them in between. So if you know somebody that needs adult diapers, you guys can buy them through North Shore Medical Supply. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, seriously, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wait, wow, yeah. That was a mouthful, ladies and gentlemen. That was a mouthful. And yes, as always, folks, I am diapered up in my North Shore Megamax diaper. and my onesies from Little Comforts. So let's get on with the show, shall we? So, so today, guys, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the West's favorite tactic, ladies and gentlemen. And my listeners out there, what is the left's number one favorite tactic in going after President Trump? Can you take a hint from me? It's lawfare. Simply put, it's lawfare. The leftists, Democrats, and liberals love to use the legal system as a weapon against anyone who opposes them. They love to use judicial lawfare. They don't care about the fucking damn Constitution. For all they care, they could wipe that Constitution right up their butt. The fact of the matter is, folks, they do not care about the rule of law. They only care about the rule of law when it applies to them. They only care about it. But when it comes to everyone else, including you, me, Mr. Trump, no, they go all out. They go all out, and they literally will go all out to try to obstruct, impede, and use the judicial system to try to stall whatever President Trump wants to do. Seriously, seriously, guys, I'll give you this. I'll give you this. From the Federalists, ousted from power by voters, Dems turned to activist judges to defy Trump. Here's the headline. Lower federal court judges have no constitutional authority to govern by injunction or undermine the executive branch. Problem here is the left has never read the Constitution. The left in the United States of America has never read the United States Constitution. They don't read it because you know why? All they read is what? The Communist Manifesto, which is their favorite rule book, or like Rules for Radicals by Saul Alinsky. That's what they read. But they don't read the Constitution because they don't care about the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. They do not. All they care about, ladies and gentlemen, is undermining the rule of law in this country. All they care about, ladies and gentlemen, is undermining judicial powers and including constitutional powers. I'll read you the first paragraph. What's happening right now is that Democrats have been thrown out of power by American voters in a landslide victory for Trump and have decided they're going to deploy a widely used tactic from Trump's first term to thwart the president's agenda. Use federal judiciary under the false pretext that the lower federal courts are part of the co-equal branches of government with the executive. They are aiming to shut down Trump's reform efforts with side of preliminary injunctions. So, which means is like this: the left thinks that federal judges are the co-equal, or is what they call it, co-equal branches of government. Wrong, leftist, I'm about to slap you upside the head and school your ass. The judicial branch is separate from the executive branch. We have three equal branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and judicial. The judicial does not fall under the executive branch. They are separate. They are not co-equal branches of the executive branch. I don't know where the left learned that shit. I don't know where the left thought that shit, but somehow somebody needs to take a leftist, slap the Constitution upside their head, because quite frankly, it seems like Democrats and the left think that the judicial branch is a co-equal branch of the executive branch. The executive branch is by itself. Legislative is by itself. Judicial is by itself. The reason why we have three branches of government is that no one person or no one branch can hold power. That's why you have the president, the Congress, the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is to make sure the other two are following the Constitution. That's plain and simple. But to the left here, right here, in this next paragraph, in recent days, dozens of lawsuits have been filed against the Trump administration by Democrat attorney generals and various left wing groups. These groups have carefully selected their venues, ensuring the lawsuits come before a rabidly anti Trump activist. So far, the tactic seems to be working, as this past weekend, different rulings from federal branch have temporarily halted president's executive orders. Well, you know where they're filing these orders, ladies and gentlemen? They're not filing these orders in red states, I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. Imagine if they tried to file this in say what? Texas, Florida, or Ohio. The ruling would get thrown right out. But you know where the left is going, ladies and gentlemen? Blue states like New York, California, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to blue states. That's why they're filing these injunctions, ladies and gentlemen. They're filing these in blue states. They're not filing these in red states or in Washington D.C. because you know why? They know they ain't gonna win. They know they ain't gonna win. And you have WorldNet Daily saying judicial coup against the sitting presidents. Dems using activist judges to fight Trump. Okay, and the headline, it is a simple tactic. All Democrats have to do is shop for a venue to find the most activist, rapidly anti-Trump federal judge in the country, file their lawsuit, and wait for the injunction to come raining down. Basically, this is the same thing from the Federalist article. They're basically shopping around blue states trying to find the most anti-Trump judge. Basically, a judge that was appointed by what? Biden and Obama, and then simply file a lawsuit in that state. That's what they're trying to do. This is basically judicial coup. This is basically amounting to an insurrection and soft coup. And I'm going to say this clear, guys. What the Democrats are doing right now, because they got thrown out of power on November 5th, 2024, and January 20th, 2025, they have no power anymore. They have no sway. They're trying to fight their way back into power, but it ain't working, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't working for them. That's why you see all these flurry of lawsuits. And then come to think of it, they're not filing these lawsuits in red states. Yeah, they're not. They're filing these lawsuits in blue states like California, like Colorado, like New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, not Pennsylvania, Massachusetts. They're filing them in these blue states. You know why? They know, ladies and gentlemen, they know that there are anti-Trump judges out there who were appointed under, guess who? Obama, Biden. They know they're out there. That's why, like this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna say this, ladies and gentlemen, Pam Bondi needs to get her ass off the desk and seriously start going after these Democrats and these leftist groups. We seriously need to go after them for an insurrection, a coup, and basically we need to go after Democrats who are impeding. Because we all know, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats hate Doge because Doge is uncovering their what, ladies and gentlemen? Fraud, waste, corruption, and their money laundering scam. Yeah, they're afraid of Doge for that reason because they don't want their money laundering scam being exposed to you, the public. They don't. And then you got this article here. Trump administration calls blocks on spending freeze intolerable judicial overreach. And this comes from the Daily Caller. And I'm going to read you this gets to the headline. I'm going to give you my opinion. Judge's order blocking Trump administration spending freeze is intolerable judicial overreach, the Department of Justice argued Monday night. The DOJ appealed Judge John McConnell Jr.'s block on the spending freeze to the First Circuit Court of Appeals, writing that judges cannot oversee the executive branch's spending authority for several weeks and shield its order from appeal by labeling it as temporary restraining order. Basically, what the DOJ is trying to say, guys, judges are not co-equal of the executive branch. They overstep their boundary. They overstep their fucking lane for all I care. Okay? For all I care, I know is like this. These activist judges overstep their lane. And I'm looking at you, Speaker Mike Johnson. What the fuck are you doing about these activist judges? I'm pointing fingers at you right now. What the fuck are you doing about these people? What the fuck? You better get your ass off your high chair and rein in on these activist judges. I'm looking at you, Speaker Mike Johnson. What the fuck are you doing about these activist judges? What the fuck? You better get off your high horse and get in there. You better get off your high horse. Because I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, you better get off your high horse. He better get off his high horse, folks. He better. Because I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this. This this can't go on forever. This can't go on. Because I'm telling you, the left resorting to their favorite tactic, judicial lawfare, because during Biden's administration, they love to use judicial lawfare against conservatives, against Republicans, against anyone who opposed them, including what? Moms who spoke up at board of ed meetings about the left injecting transgenderism into their kids' school. Funny, funny. But when we sued the government, the left laughed at us. But now when they're doing it, oh yeah, now we're talking about it. But I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this right now. I'm telling you this. The fact that they use judicial warfare is appalling. It is appalling to say the least. It is really downright appalling. It is. The fact of the matter is, guys, the fact of the matter is, once you see the West tactic of judicial warfare, them shopping around for rabid anti-Trump federal judges, you can't fucking unsee that, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot fucking unsee that. It's like this. It's like this, guys. Once you see that, you can never, ever fucking unsee it. You can try to unsee it, but it's too late for that now. That's why I look at it like this, guys. That's why I look at it like this. all these Trump, all these anti-Trump judges should be impeached, should be removed. The fact that they violated the Constitution by overstepping their boundary, or as I call it, overstepping their line, it's cause for Speaker Mike Johnson to get off his high chair and rein in on these activist judges and tell them, if you don't stay in your damn lane, get the fuck out. It's that simple. It's really that simple. I want to talk a bit about this article from the Federalist again. Trump is not a threat to democracy. Those threatening Article 2 are. The gist of the headline is this: blue states are partnering with federal judges to prohibit normal functioning of the executive branch. This goes again. This again goes with these blue states who think that they can dictate what the executive branch does. Show me where in the fucking United States Constitution that allows this. Show me where. I'm waiting. Anybody, show me. Show me where. Because it doesn't. It doesn't, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't. The fact of the matter is, and I'll read you this from the headline. For a solid week, blue states, union laborers, and nonprofit organizations have descended on federal courts up and down the East Coast seeking to halt President Trump's agenda, and they have found receptive partners in a handful of federal judges willing to enter temporary restraining orders, or TROs, to immediately and sometimes without any notice prohibit the normal functioning of the executive branch. This goes again with judicial overreach and judicial coup here. Blue states do not fucking understand the United States Constitution. They don't understand that we have three equal branches of government. We don't have four co-equal branches of government. We do not have that. I don't know where the leftists are thinking of this bullshit, this sky in the high bullshit. I don't know where they're thinking of this. I don't know where. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, the left does not understand the Constitution very well. They don't understand. And this is why I'm all for, ladies and gentlemen, that anyone who serves in Congress should be required to read the Constitution on day one. There should be a mandatory constitutional reading all the amendments of the Constitution. There should be a required mandatory reading of the Constitution. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, I carry a pocket copy of the United States Constitution. Whenever the left wants to impede on my rights or say, and they say, this is a right, I whip out the Constitution and say, here, show me in the United States Constitution that says that's a right. They run, scurry, flee, and then they wet their soiled diapers because they can't find it, ladies and gentlemen. They can't. The fact of the matter is, you have these leftists and Democrats, especially in blue states, trying to dictate what the executive branch can and cannot do. The left loves to say, this is creating a constitutional crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, they are creating the constitutional crisis in this country. They are doing that. This is one of the left's favorite tactic of accusing you of the very thing they're doing. It's like every time a leftist accuses us of doing something that is legal and lawful, they're accusing us of creating a constitutional crisis when in fact they're creating the constitutional crisis. They are starting the constitutional crisis in this country. That's why every time I see leftists on X or on their left's favorite echo chamber, Blue Sky, talking about like using the courts to overrule Trump and this and this and this, and then go on X and then accuse us of doing it. I go look on Blue Sky. They're the ones that are doing it. It's simply put, ladies and gentlemen, people don't know how to read the Constitution. People don't know how to read the rule of law. People do not know what is in the United States Constitution. And I, for one, ladies and gentlemen, do support people being well educated and well versed in the United States Constitution. That's why I always tell people carry a copy of a constitution with you. Carry the copy of the United States Constitution because that's your rights right there. And also include the Bill of Rights, folks. Carry a copy of the Bill of Rights because that's your rights. Because you got to remember, you have rights in this country. You have rights. The left thinks that the only people have rights are the ones that have a D or their favorite group that have more rights. You know, but right now it's us. It's we the people that have rights. Democrats think only special interest groups have rights. Not like that, guys. But I'm telling you right now, consider where these lawsuits are being filed, ladies and gentlemen. Consider this. Why are these lawsuits being filed in blue states like Rhode Island, like Massachusetts, Connecticut, like New York, Colorado, and California, or Minnesota? Why? Why? But you don't see them being filed in red states like Florida, Texas. You don't see them. Maybe it's because these people are judicial shopping. Maybe it's because we're finding out that some of these activist judges are overstepping their lane and they're supposed to stay on their side of the fence. Maybe because they want to create the constitutional crisis and give the people the illusion that the conservatives, Republicans, MAGA, Trump, and Doge is creating a constitutional crisis when they themselves are creating the constitutional crisis and accusing the other side of the very thing that they're doing. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, they are creating this crisis amongst themselves. They are creating this situation amongst themselves. They literally are, guys. They literally are. The fact of the matter is, these people are creating the crisis themselves. They literally are. They literally are. And the fact of the matter is, guys, I'm going to say it like this: the left is literally causing their own shit. They're wallowing in their own filth right now. They're having a temper tantrum like a fucking 5-year old because they can't get things, they can't get their way. That they're upset because the adults have come back and now they're in charge. That's why you're seeing them having a temper tantrum like a 5-year old. Okay, you know how you see those temper tantrums by 5-year olds when you're out shopping at, say, what, Stop and Shop, Big Y, Aldi, or Walmart. That's what the Democrat is. Okay, that's what the Democrat really is in this country, man. That's what they really are. But the fact of the matter is, Trump's not a threat to democracy. Blue state Democrats, leftist liberals are a threat to democracy, and they are a threat to the Constitution. They are a threat to the rule of law in this country. They literally are. And whenever they accuse you of being a threat to democracy, they're actually doing it themselves. And it's called projection, and it's called gaslighting. And if you ever see those Darvo tactics, that's what the left's doing right now. It pretty much is, guys. It pretty much it pretty much is. One thing I want to talk about, guys, this article from the Daily Signal, FEMA should be terminated, said Trump. This article, if I could find this, guys, harkens back to Katrina during the Hurricane Katrina when it wiped out Louisiana. FEMA was so inept and incompetent at the time. George George H.W. Bush, when he was president, fired the acting FEMA director, and guess who he replaced? The United States Coast Guard. The U.S. Coast Guard ran disaster operations, recovery operations, ran it so well and so effective that some people have said FEMA should be handed over. FEMA should be handed over to the United States Coast Guard. The United States Coast Guard ran disaster operations far better than fucking FEMA. Now that Trump's now like years later, President Trump once again is calling for FEMA to be terminated. Telling you, ladies and gentlemen, telling you, FEMA should be terminated. FEMA should be handed over to the states. In my purview, ladies and gentlemen, in my purview, FEMA, I mean, it was like this: the feds should abolish FEMA and hand it over to the states. Let each state run their own disaster response. Why does the federal government need to get involved in it? Unless, of course, it involves nuclear weapons, then that's a whole different issue and all that. But in like say like hurricanes, natural disasters like fires, earthquakes, and all that, the only thing that the federal government should be involved in is helping the like each state, county, and town recover and help them rebuild. That's it. But the fact that FEMA has been abused by the left to help fund illegal immigrants migrating, like illegally entering in this country, FEMA should be abolished. FEMA should be abolished. Let the states run disaster response. Let the states run it. Because the states, in my purview, could run it better than the federal government. They could run it far more efficient than the feds. Ronald Reagan always said like this: the most dangerous line in this country is, "I'm from the federal government. I'm here to help." That is the most dangerous line in the world. That is the most dangerous line in the world. I mean, let's take the left who loves to impede the federal government, for example. Well, here's our example. Let's give FEMA back to the states. Each state can set up its own emergency management. Yeah, each state can set up its own. Here's a factorial for you, and I'm gonna blow this out of your ass. Do you know each state has the authority under the United States Constitution to set up its own state guard and state militia, separate from the dual state federal national guard. They can set up, they can use that as a basis to set up their own FEMA. They can. They can, ladies and gentlemen. They can. Because here's the solution to all this. Get FEMA out of the federal government. Get FEMA out of federal hands. Bring FEMA to the state level. Let the states run it by themselves. Give you an example. Blue states like California and New York. Let them run FEMA. Let them run their own emergency management agency. Let them run it. They have resources like, I'll give you an example, California. They have the California State Guard. Liberal state like New York, they have the New York State Guard. Let them run it. Let them run emergency management. Let them get the feds out. Feds don't need to be there unless there's a federal issue involved. If there is no federal issue, let the states run it. That's why I'm a believer in the 10th Amendment. Anything that is not required by the Constitution should be given back to the people, aka the state. That means it's like this. Instead of the federal government dictating, let the states, including liberal states like California, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass, run their own FEMA. Get the feds out, and let the states run it, ladies and gentlemen. Let the states run it. Because you know why? Here's an example from the red state. Trump drops the hammer on FEMA employees who violated his executive order and paid $59 million to illegals in New York City. There's an example. This is an example of why we need to get FEMA out. We need to. Because the bureaucrats in FEMA are all corrupt, are all leftist. Get them out of it. Let the states handle disaster response. But this is an example, and Trump dropped the hammer and he fired those people, you know what I mean, who illegally gave $59 million to New York City luxury hotels to house illegal immigrants. It's a good example, ladies and gentlemen, of of the reason why we should get FEMA out of the federal hands and then tell the states, here, you take it from here. We're staying out of it. We're going to set a fence and say, well, disaster response, that's your purview. We're staying out of it. We're staying on our side of the fence. It's as simple as that. But let's see how blue states handle disaster response. Let's see how blue states like California, New York run disaster response. I'll bet you they're going to be begging for the feds to help them out. But then the feds are going to say, "Hey, you destroyed FEMA, so as a result, we're getting out of the business. We're letting you handle it." Yeah, it should be like that, guys. It should be like that. You know, it should be like that because you know why? I look at it like this, guys. I look at it like this. Federal government should get out of the business of emergency management. It should be handed down to the states. The states should run it. The states have the resources. The states have the authorization to start their own militia. Give you an example. Ron DeSantis, Florida, started their own Florida State Guard. Yeah, They started their own Florida State Guard for it. Liberal states like California and New York have their own state guard. Red states like Texas, Georgia have their own state guard. There's rules in the Constitution that allow it, ladies and gentlemen, because these state guards cannot be deployed outside their state line without the governor signing an order. Okay? And plus, they're well equipped to handle emergency response in their own state without the need of the federal government to drop in. Yeah, it's that simple. It is. So now I want to turn our attention to all the winning that we've been doing in this country, guys. These last two articles I want to talk to y'all about from the Daily Signal and the Federalist again. Trump is leading an historic counter-revolution against the deep state from the Daily Signal and from the Federalist. Not tired of losing, the left doubles down on standing up for insanity. Here's my question, guys. Are any of you tired of winning? No, I'm not. I'm not tired of winning. In fact, I want more winning. I want more. I want more. I want so much winning that I would pass out from it, ladies and gentlemen. I want so much winning that I want the left to basically drown in all the winning that we're doing. I want them to drown and suffer from all the winning. Because you know why? I'm not tired of winning. I'm not. Those last two articles that I'm talking about, they're doubling down on their insanity. It's because you know why? They become delusional. They become mentally insane that they can't handle the winning that we're doing. The winning that we're doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, I want more. I want more. I want so much winning that I can fill a stadium in. I could fill so many stadiums in this country with. I want I want so much winning in this country that we make this country great and prosperous again. I want so much winning that the leftists get wiped off the planet. I want that kind of winning, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. I want that kind of winning in this country, and I want it because you know why? The more winning we have, is way better. Give you an example of winning, guys. Last night, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, on his way to Europe, signed an order changing the name of Fort Liberty back to Fort Bragg. That's what you call winning, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you call winning. And the more winnings are coming down the pipe from Secretary Hegseth. That's what you call winning. That's what you call winning. Doge is handing out more wins than ever, man. Doge is bringing back more wins. I'm telling you guys, I'm not tired of winning. I want more. I want to wake up every day knowing that President Trump is winning the nation, is bringing the nation back. I want to wake up every day knowing that Doge has finally like cut the fat off the federal government. I want to wake up every day knowing that Secretary Hegseth has the strongest military in the world. I want that kind of wins, guys. And if you don't want that wins, let me open the door. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. You're free to leave. You're free to leave. But for me, and for all of my listeners who are listening on the show, I want more wins. More. Give me more wins. Give me more winning, Mr. Trump. Give me more winning, Mr. Hegseth. Give me more winning, Doge. Give me more winning, Elon Musk. And I'm gonna say this on the podcast show. If he gives me more winnings, I might consider buying a Tesla. I might consider buying a Tesla if Elon Musk can give me more wins in this country. In fact, I what I love about Elon Musk so much, he's the richest man on this planet who's not taking a salary from the taxpayers, who slept on the floor, you know what I mean? Who basically works all hours while most of us are asleep. If I were my listeners, I'd ask him if he wants a cot, if he wants an air mattress, if he wants like a one of those mobile homes, like one of those expensive, like those coach mobile homes that he can use while cleaning out and auditing the federal government. If he wants that, I'm willing to help fund for him and his Doge team. In fact, I would go one step further, ladies and gentlemen. I would even fund to have basketball set them up like a home for them while they're helping cleaning out Washington D.C. I would be all for that, ladies and gentlemen. I would be because you know why? I want more winning. And I'm looking at you, Speaker Mike Johnson, looking at you right now. And I'm looking at you, Senate Majority Leader Thune. I want more winnings out of Congress. And if I have to whip your ass to get more winnings, so be it. But I want more winnings. I want wins in Congress. I want to be able to wake up every day knowing that Speaker Mike Johnson stopped the Democrats from trying to impeach Trump. Speaker Mike Johnson, like, rein in on these activist judges. And I want senators to. I want to wake up every day knowing that Senate Majority Leader Thune stop the Senate Democrats from their grandstanding and voted in all of Trump's nominees. I want to wake up knowing that, guys. I want to. That's why I want more wins. And if you're tired of winning, I don't have sympathy for y'all, guys. I don't have sympathy for y'all. I go like this. I want more winnings. I want so much winnings that I have to change my diaper often after like laughing myself so hard that I had to pee and soak my diaper from all the winnings that we are doing. We literally are winning, ladies and gentlemen. We literally are, guys. And we gotta celebrate the wins. Celebrate those wins. Like like renaming Gulf of Mexico to now the Gulf of America. Hell yeah, that is winning. And then from renaming Denali Mountain to Mount McKinley in honor of President William McKinley. Hell yeah, that is winning, ladies and gentlemen. That is so much winning. I, here's the thing. I want to wake up with the biggest win of all. That the Democrats will never ever be in power for the next 100 years. Okay? I want to wake up knowing that the Democrats are never going to be in power for as long as I'm alive until the day I get put in cryonic suspension. I want to wake I want to wake up every day knowing that the Republicans, conservatives, and libertarians are in charge for the next 100 years. I want to wake up knowing that, guys. I really do. I really do, guys. And that's why I like this. Celebrate the wins, ladies and gentlemen. Like head up, chest out, be proud that that we won. Be proud that we have a country back. Be proud we are getting America back. Be proud, ladies and gentlemen. Be proud of that. Okay? Be proud. And be happy that we're winning. Because we want more wins. I want so much wins that I will never ever get tired of it anymore. Okay? I really do. I really do. Anyway, guys, I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I gotta go do a diaper check just to make sure I'm not leaking or pooping like always. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now. You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.